Dealmakers, what's up?
My vision is to completely and utterly disrupt the market for buying and selling small businesses all over the world.
Morning guys, Carl Allen. I've just been to see my drug dealer. I've just picked up my two most favourite drugs. Well, the only two drugs actually that I take and I've ever taken, caffeine and sugar. So the largest drug dealer in the world, Amazon. I've just been to see those guys and I'm getting my fix. And as you know, when I'm drinking my Starbucks on my way back to my office, I consult you guys about some of the things that you want to learn in the art and science of becoming a deal maker. So one of the questions that you guys have been asking me on the YouTube channel, and again, guys, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you're getting this content in real time as soon as I release it. But one of the questions that you've been asking me is, Carl, how can you finance the acquisition of a business that you don't own? How does the process work? And it's a really interesting question. It's a really valid question, actually. And it works exactly the same as a real estate transaction. So you've all probably bought a piece of real estate. So if you buy a piece of real estate, you go out, you find a real estate, whether it's a house or it's a multi-family type of deal or anything. So you go and you buy the real estate, you go find it, you submit an offer, you negotiate the terms of the deal. And then once you've got an agreed offer, you then go out to a financier. So typically on real estate, you'll have to put in a little bit of equity in some real estate deals. I know because I've just done one, you can sell or finance the equity portion, but generally you're putting down a little bit of equity. There might be some seller financing on the rest of the equity, but the majority of the deal is going to be debt. So you're going to go to a mortgage provider or a commercial lender, and they're going to lend you that money. You might subject to the existing loan that's in the real estate, but there's going to be some debt involved that you're going to be responsible for paying. And you go out, you get the loan, and then what happens is the day before closing, the mortgage company will submit that money into escrow or into the lawyer's client's account. So the money's there, it's safe, it's ring-fenced, and then you rock up to the office on closing day, you sign the documentation which transfers the ownership of the house or whatever it is from seller to you as the buyer. And then the second that you sign that paperwork, all happens electronically now in a lot of cases. But as soon as you're the legal owner of that house, then the money transfers from the escrow through to the seller's lawyer. The seller's lawyer will pay down the loan, and then whatever's left, whatever equity is left in the house, that will go to the seller, less any closing costs and fees, all those different things, right? So that's how it works. Everybody understands that. Now, buying a business works in exactly the same way. But it doesn't matter what type of deal you're doing. You might be doing an SBA deal. You might be raising money from investors. You might be doing asset-based lending. You might have a mix of closing payment, seller financing payments, earn-outs, all those different things. But if we talk about the SBA example, because that's more akin to you going and doing a real estate deal, which you now understand. But on an SBA deal, what you would do is a typical SBA loan is 10% buyer's equity, which could be from you or from an investing partner that will come in with you on a deal. 80% is the SBA loan, which, as you know, is at least 75% government guaranteed if something goes wrong. Then the final 10% is a seller note, which can be paid as a bullet payment after the SBA has been taken care of, or you can amortize that or cash flow that over, say, 3 years or 5 years or what have you. So in the exact same way you do a real estate deal, you would go, you would find a business, you would negotiate price and terms of that deal. And then if you need a closing payment, you would go to the SBA or any other lender. You would give them all the information about the business, last 3 years of accounts, tax returns, latest balance sheet, other information that they might need, copy of the shareholders agreement, business plan, financial forecast, all that stuff. All lenders are different. So you send that stuff in, and then they'll give you a term sheet. So they'll give you a term sheet, which is basically their letter of intent, their LOI, that they're going to do the deal subject to due diligence. They then go through the process of doing DD, legal DD, financial DD, commercial DD, They'll obviously go through the drafting of the legal contracts, so things like warranties and indemnities, all those different things. And then once everything's kind of ticked off and everything's ready to close, what then happens is, like with real estate, the day before the closing, the bank, the SBA lender, they will wire that money into escrow. So they'll wire it into the lawyer's escrow account or the lawyer's client account. And then that money is held to order. That money is then ring-fenced and can only be moved when you're the legal owner of that business. So then you'll rock up to the lawyer's office, you'll have agreed things like working capital to be left in the business, you'll have agreed whether you're doing an asset deal or a stock-based deal, you'll have agreed the handover period or whether the seller's going to stay on to kind of help you. There are some kind of rules and nuances around that with SBA, so be careful if the seller wants to stay, that they'll allow that. Generally they don't. But you get everything agreed, and then you will sign the documents. You'll either DocuSign it if you're remote, or you'll rock up to the lawyer's office and you'll sign the deal. Last SBA deal I signed, it was manually signed. I think I signed my name over 120 times. It was quite a complicated deal, and you're signing in triplicate for the bank and triplicate for the SBA. It's, yeah, an absolute nightmare. My hand still doesn't work properly. I use almost all the ink from one of my Mont Blanc pens, because you guys know I sign deals with my Mont Blanc. It was a crazy deal. So you sign the documents, and then the second you're the legal owner of that business, the money can then get released from escrow through the system to the seller. The seller will pay down any liabilities that they're going to cover at closing. They'll pay their closing costs, their fees to their lawyer, etc., the CPA, and then the balance of the money will go to them. So it's exactly the same process as it is in real estate. So the question that was asked is, how can you finance the acquisition of a business you don't already own? The answer is that you can't, but it happens back to back. It happens instantaneously. The money is prepared, it's put into escrow, so it's safe. You then sign the documents to buy the business, either manually or through a DocuSign or a Pando service. And then the second that's done, the money gets released and the deal closes. So that's exactly how that works. So I hope you found that useful, but keep hitting me up, guys, with these questions. Keep asking me these questions inside of YouTube. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, show Uncle Carl some love, and then in the message, in the chat box, in the comments, type in if there's a question that you have that I haven't yet covered. I know absolutely everything there is to know about buying and selling businesses and growing businesses. So if you've got a question on your mind, like, wow, I wish Carl would speak to that, hit me up in the comment section. I'm just going round a couple of horses, guys. Got to go slow. You might see the horses in the rearview mirror, but you know, I love animals and I'm going really, really slow. So I'm just going around. Don't like whispering, they can't hear me. I'm just going past these horses. But guys, yeah, any questions that you've got on anything related to business or acquisitions, then definitely tell me what it is in the comments, and I will get those videos to you very, very quickly. So I hope you found that useful. Have a great rest of your day. Go do some deals, and I will see you guys soon. Until then, bye for now.